Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, Christine Brown is someone else. She now expresses her opinions instead of holding the storm inside her captive. She went all out and blew up with revelations in the most recent tell-all. Christine did all in her power to criticize Robyn and Kody for their actions, from revealing their personalities to accusing them of having an affair before they were married. She obviously endured a lot of hardship over the years and wasn't in the mood to spare them. She held herself responsible for all of her poor choices and delivered the two a hard reality check. Having come to terms with being a pushover, Christine made an effort to make accommodations for Kody. She should never have done it, and it backfired horribly. Christine, however, did not mince words when she called Kody a liar. She expressed her annoyance and made them answerable for all they did. Continue reading to get a detailed understanding of her viewpoint. Sister Wives, Christine and Janelle discuss Kody's emotional abuse. Christine and Janelle disclosed how Kody emotionally targeted them in the most recent Sister Wives tell-all. According to Janelle, Kody targeted his spouses where it hurt the most, particularly in places they held in high regard. Being aware that her concern for money would make that hurt, he accused her of managing finances. Christine went on to say that Kody took advantage of her need for emotional and physical closeness. She was devastated by his constant criticism of her appearance. Both concurred that Kody purposefully and precisely knew how to set them off. Janelle wholeheartedly agreed with Christine when she described it as his method of emotionally abusing them. Sister Wives, Christine furiously attacks Robyn and Kody. For a long time, Kody kept his first three wives under control. Although they didn't criticize him or his spouse, the three wives are now at last standing up for their rights following their divorce. Christine acknowledged that she squandered a lot of time with the Brown family in the most recent tell-all. She went on to say that Kody is a manipulator and that everything he said was false. She wasn't in the mood to spare him and let the world see his actual self. During the last tell-all, Kody boasted about his former college sweetheart, but Christine pointed out that it was wrong on a number of levels. Now, he is discussing his secret lover as though it were nothing, but this is a warning sign. If he was able to conceal anything like this from them for so long, there may be more secrets. If gender roles were reversed, would society be so tolerant of a hidden lover? In the past, Kody revealed his dark and profound secrets to Robyn. Christine emphasized that he was never honest with them. Before their spiritual wedding, she also suggested that Kody and Robyn had gone too far. During the engagement pictures, it was evident that they had been acting in front of them the entire time. Their touching and intimate appearance in the pictures was a clear indication of their relationship. Christine Brown-Woolley, star of Sister Wives, talks about her extravagant trip with husband David Woolley. In the 2 years they have been dating, they have been having a great time, and things are just getting better. To learn more about their activities, continue reading. David and Christine Brown talk about their exotic adventure. Christine Brown-Woolley was Kody Brown's third wife for more than 25 years. She has now claimed that when he refused to give her the hotel luggage rack at the start of their marriage, she sensed there were issues. Janelle Brown, her ex-sister wife, brought this up during her engagement celebration. The Sister Wives cast members eventually found out that Robyn Brown, his fourth wife, was fortunate, and it seemed to be a common joke between them. She took the luggage rack. After moving on, Christine married David Woolley, who meets all of her wants. He is always up for an adventure and has accepted her offspring, including those born through polygamy. After visiting Vienna, the happy pair is now on their way to Switzerland. It took them 12 hours to reach their destination, so it was undoubtedly a long day of travel. Christine was talking about how much she loved Zermatt, even though it took a while to travel there from Vienna. The region was even more tempting after she provided a video of how lovely and flowery it was. The Sister Wives star previously discussed their journey in these details. It has been an incredible journey. We began in Frankfurt and traveled to Cologne and Berlin. Now that she is not bound by Kody Brown's rules, she has been enjoying her life. Naturally, if she still had the baggage rack, her admirers and following needed to know. Many joined in and said that, considering how much he loves Christine, there was no question David handed it to her. He loves her more than she has ever known, and she is thrilled to be his partner. A beautiful trip. Christine Brown Woolley has been always on the run since she married David Woolley. After showcasing their initial Airbnb on Sister Wives, the couple has since grown it. It has been difficult for her children to cope with some of their shared PDA, primarily because they weren't accustomed to her showing devotion to Kody Brown. However, now that she is adored, she is free to do as she pleases. The pair knew they had discovered love, therefore they didn't care about a brief relationship. Fans were ecstatic to see Christine and David on their journey. I'm so glad you and David are enjoying these wonderful travels together. It's so lovely to see you content. That you now have a partner that permits you to take a vacation is so amazing. Additionally, you didn't have to save money for groceries. Have fun. Everyone loved watching Christine accomplish anything she wanted with her life, and they admired her and David's adventures. Additionally, she has a partner with whom she is not required to discuss anything and who wishes to experience and view the world via Christine's perspective. In the season 19 conclusion, Sister Wives star Kody Brown finally acknowledged that he had lied about his relationships with his ex-wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine. Kody talked about his sexual experience in college with candid host Sukanya Suki Krishnan in the Sunday, June 15th episode of the TLC series. He revealed that the only wives he told about it were his first wife, Mary, and his fourth and currently sole wife, Robyn. It's interesting to note that during the first month of their relationship, Kody told Robyn about the violation of his moral and religious principles. He also talked about how he felt comfortable disclosing to Mary his extramarital sex early on in their relationship. The 18-year-old father revealed, "Mary and I were much safer with each other in our beginnings. It's been a while since I recognized how vulnerable I was with Mary. I suppose I simply grew out of it. It means Mary and I had a good start," Kody went on. "It indicates that I've been foolish and irate in my attempts to justify my claim that I never fell in love with her. I must now be fair and admit that I did adore her." Then he said again, "We were lovers, and we were in love. A million paper cuts kill the love." At that point, Kody made the connection between his relationships with his other ex-partners, Christine, his third wife, and Janelle, his second. Reverting to his earlier confessions during his divorces, he brazenly admitted, "I don't know what kind of state of mind I was other than just super angry, but I loved all three of them. I love them all." After more than a decade of smiling through disappointment, swallowing back pain, and trying to make the best of a spiritually dead plural marriage, Christine Brown finally reached her boiling point, and fans everywhere are cheering as reports and rumors swirl of an epic, explosive confrontation between Christine and the two people most viewers have long blamed for the crumbling of the Brown family, Kody and Robyn. Yes, after years of manipulation, emotional neglect, and public gaslighting, Christine, now happily remarried and living her best life, allegedly came face-to-face with her ex-husband and his still legally wed fourth wife in an unplanned but fiery confrontation that had producers scrambling, cameras rolling, and jaws dropping across the entire fanbase. The moment, which insiders say was raw, unscripted, and years in the making, unfolded during a tense family event that brought several of the Browns back into the same room for the first time in months, and what was supposed to be a polite, surface-level interaction quickly spiraled into one of the most cathartic explosions of pent-up rage ever captured on reality television. And while TLC has not confirmed whether the incident will air in its entirety during the upcoming Sister Wives season, whispers from inside production suggest it will be a defining moment, not just for Christine, but for the franchise as a whole. According to eyewitnesses, Christine came in calm, collected, and glowing, dressed like a woman who had absolutely nothing left to prove. But as soon as she locked eyes with Kody and Robyn, the shift was immediate. What began as passive-aggressive tension reportedly turned into full-on confrontation when Robyn made one of her classic, wounded dove comments about how hard this has been for everyone, prompting Christine to, finally, snap. "You don't get to play the victim when you've been the architect of everyone else's suffering," she reportedly said, voice shaking with controlled fury. You sat back and watched him destroy us. You helped him do it. You were fine with everything falling apart as long as you got your happily ever after. And now you want sympathy? The room went silent. Even Kody, known for his loud blustering and finger-pointing, allegedly stood frozen, unsure how to respond. But Christine wasn't done. Not even close. Turning to Kody, she unleashed over a decade of betrayal, frustration, and heartbreak, laying bare the damage he had inflicted not just on her, but on their children. You treated me like a burden, like a chore, she spat. You stopped loving me long before I walked away, and you made sure everyone knew it. You stopped being a father to our kids the minute they stopped agreeing with you. You let them think they weren't enough. And you want respect? You don't get to call yourself a patriarch when you abandoned your family. Eyewitnesses say Kody tried to interrupt. Something about being misunderstood, or doing his best, but Christine was on a roll, and for the first time ever, she didn't let him control the narrative. You think love is obedience, she snapped. You think leadership is control. You don't even see people, you see problems to manage and loyalty to measure. You don't get to gaslight me anymore. You don't get to rewrite what happened. At this point, Robyn reportedly began crying, predictably, but Christine wasn't moved. Don't cry, Robyn, she said coldly. You got what you wanted. You've been Kody's favorite from day one. He built a wall around you and let the rest of us burn. But don't you dare sit here now and pretend you didn't know. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you chose to keep quiet because it benefited you. You let us drown. Fans online are already calling this alleged speech Christine's Emmy moment, a long-awaited eruption that validates every subtle microaggression, every dismissal, every lonely night she endured while trying to pretend everything was fine for the sake of the kids and the cameras. This wasn't just a confrontation. It was an exorcism of all the lies, the favoritism, the denial, and the toxic emotional dynamics that had been festering beneath the surface for years. And let's be clear, this moment didn't come out of nowhere. Christine's slow burn toward liberation has been the emotional core of Sister Wives for the past several seasons. From her early episodes where she openly admitted she struggled with jealousy and feeling less than, to the later seasons where she quietly began to pull back, draw boundaries, and eventually make the brave decision to walk away, fans have been rooting for her every step of the way. Her escape from Kody's emotional chokehold was more than a storyline. It was a symbol of self-worth, of motherhood, of a woman rediscovering her power. And now, seeing her face both Kody and Robyn head-on, not as the tearful wife begging for scraps of attention but as a fierce, self-possessed woman who has nothing left to lose, it's a full-circle moment that has fans saying one thing: Christine won. And in a way, she has. Since leaving the family, Christine has flourished. Her relationship with David Woolley is vibrant and affectionate, a sharp contrast to the cold distance that defined her last years with Kody. She's glowing in every new social media post, hosting joyful family dinners, engaging in playful TikToks, and living a life that no longer revolves around waiting for a man who never prioritized her. But make no mistake, this confrontation wasn't about bitterness. It was about truth. Accountability, closure. Because while Christine may be happier now than she ever was with Kody, there was still a reckoning that needed to happen, and according to reports, she delivered it with grace, fire, and zero regrets. TLC insiders say producers were stunned by the moment, not because Christine raised her voice or caused a scene, she didn't, but because she commanded the moment so completely. She owned that room, one crew member reportedly said. You could feel the power shift. It was like Kody realized too late that he'd lost her for good. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. She's untouchable now. And Robyn? Insiders say she was visibly shaken by the confrontation and that this moment might signal the start of her own unraveling. For years, she's had the benefit of the doubt, said one longtime viewer. But after this, there's no more pretending she's innocent. Christine exposed the truth, and now the whole world sees it. What happens next remains to be seen. Will this confrontation be aired in full? Will Robyn respond on camera, or hide behind her usual tears and half-truths? Will Kody finally acknowledge the role he played in destroying not just one marriage, but four? And will Christine continue to rise, unbothered, unbroken, and unapologetic? One thing is certain, this was the moment fans have waited over a decade to see. And whether it gets the airtime it deserves or not, it already lives rent-free in the minds of millions of viewers who have followed Christine's journey from silent sufferer to empowered queen. Christine Brown is glowing, not just in her photos, not just in the way she throws her head back in laughter these days, not just in the captions of her Instagram posts that drip with joy and confidence, but glowing in a way that screams freedom, passion, healing, and triumph, because this time around, it's not about pleasing a husband who made her feel like a burden or fighting for a sliver of love in a broken polygamous household. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and finally prioritizing her own joy, which is exactly what fans saw as she recently shared a jaw-dropping, envy-inducing, sun-drenched adventure with her husband David Woolley that took social media by storm and left the Sister Wives fandom collectively gasping. This is not the Christine we met 17 seasons ago. No, this is Christine 2.0, thriving in the aftermath of emotional chaos, indulging in luxury, romance, and breathtaking new beginnings as she and David embarked on a lavish, intimate vacation that had all the markings of a second honeymoon, but in many ways felt like her first real one. The adventure, which Christine teased in a series of elegant, joy-filled posts, took place in a lush coastal paradise where the sunsets melted into the ocean and the air itself seemed to hum with possibility. Picture white sand beaches, five-star resorts, champagne breakfasts on private terraces, and candlelit dinners by the water where Christine, wrapped in soft pastel linens and glowing with sun-kissed skin, couldn't stop smiling at the man across from her. Fans immediately noticed. This wasn't just a getaway. This was a declaration, a bold, public, unapologetic celebration of the love she'd fought so hard to find, the peace she'd earned after years of trying to make herself small in a marriage that never saw her, never nurtured her, and never prioritized her the way David so clearly does. And it wasn't just the setting that spoke volumes. It was the way David looked at her in every photo, like she was the only woman in the world. It was the candid shots of them laughing mid-bite, of Christine resting her head on his shoulder during a sunset sail, of them dancing barefoot on the beach, as if no one else existed. This wasn't just a couple in love. This was a woman being loved out loud, in the way she always deserved but never received from Kody Brown, who spent years withholding affection, treating her like a second-tier wife, and eventually pushing her so far away she had no choice but to walk toward herself. And now, standing confidently beside a man who actually shows up, who opens doors, who plans romantic getaways just because, Christine is no longer seeking validation. She is the validation. She's the proof that you can walk away from what's breaking you and walk directly into something beautiful. Fans have flooded her social media with praise. "You're glowing," Christine one wrote. "We've waited years to see you this happy." Others declared that she was their divorce goals, the patron saint of second chances, and the living embodiment of what it looks like to choose yourself and win. And Christine, never one to hold back, shared behind-the-scenes peeks into the trip that made it clear she is no longer interested in playing the role of martyr. She's the main character now. From luxurious spa treatments and gourmet meals to snorkeling excursions and cozy hammock naps, every moment of her adventure with David oozed contentment, chemistry, and connection. Gone are the days when Christine had to wait her turn for affection, settle for half conversations with a distracted husband, or watch another wife get the attention she was starving for. David, fans noted, looks at Christine like a man who knows he's won the jackpot, and Christine's body language, her laughter, her posture, all radiate the confidence of a woman who finally believes it. And while the vacation itself was a dream, it's the symbolism behind it that hit fans hardest. Because every photo, every clip, every smile is a direct rebuke of the narrative Kody once tried to spin, that Christine was too emotional, too needy, too dramatic. But what we're seeing now isn't a needy woman. It's a woman who's finally receiving the kind of love that never asks her to shrink. A woman who left a toxic dynamic not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. a woman who no longer doubts her worth. And let's be honest, David's presence is a masterclass in everything Kody failed to be. Where Kody was dismissive, David is attentive. Where Kody grew cold, David brings warmth. Where Kody saw Christine as just one part of a chaotic system, David sees her as his whole world. Even fellow ex-wives Janelle and Mary have shown support, with Janelle commenting heart emojis and Mary offering quiet likes on posts, proving that Christine's happiness is contagious, even to those still figuring out their own paths forward.